Hey guys, so we're finally back with a new episode of my new hit series titled American Horror Story What If? So we just came back from episode 1, which was a very successful episode. I saw that a lot of people were commenting, they liked it, so that makes me very happy that I'm doing my job as a YouTuber to share positivity and clarification to not only bring out the best of my viewers, but to see that you guys are such brilliant people behind all the subscribe. And I always like giving a chance to my fan base because you guys make things so much fun, and I think I am truly grateful for that. So today we're back with episode 2, and it is titled A Moment. This episode, it is brought by 2 subscribers that I saw that they gave me such brilliant ideas yet again. One of them you guys may know. I will give them their shout outs at the end of the video, and let's get right into it. The first thing we're going to talk about is going to be the first question as well as theory of the what if. It was that what if Tate and Violet got pregnant rather than Vivian? So I believe due to the whole anomaly that happened of how the Michael Langdon was born, was a ghost and a human making the baby, thus creating the entity, So prior to that, what if it was the opposite way around? I believe the event would have still happened. I'm just not sure of why, Tate or, the devil himself picked Vivian out of all places, or the house picked Vivian out of all places. Maybe it's because she's an adult, and I think her suffering from having a baby, I think the house preyed on trauma, and the fact that the person that had the most traumatic was Vivian. That's why I think they took Vivian instead. But then again, we could also piggyback that maybe Violet died way before Vivian knew that she was going to be pregnant, so that's why he didn't take her, because she was already a ghost. And that would explain when Violet saw that Tate didn't want to show her real body because she was already dying already, and that's why a ghost and a ghost cannot have a flesh to flesh contact to create the baby, which is Michael Langdon. That's one. Another theory that my favorite, I will definitely call you one of my favorite prodigies, because you came up with such brilliant ideas. You said that, what if the Maureen Elsa show from Double Feature was a witch? That would have been very cool to see, because like I said, Double Feature is one of my favorite seasons alongside, because it was creating something that we haven't seen before. Anything that plays alongside how season 6 went out. I really love season 6 of American Horror Story. It was one of my best promotional things. I really liked it about, with all the teasers that they were creating, which was very fun. So I believe that would have been a cool thing to see in the double feature, to see that Maureen Eisenhower, Mimi Eisenhower from Double Feature was a witch. So I would have been shocked. But though I believe that Mimi was more closer to being a but then that would have explained why Mimi couldn't save herself, because her head got exploded. But I believe Mimi was closer to like a android. Like, she was probably one of those first prototype, or her prototype was modeled after Mimi. Thus, in the apocalypse, we could have made a connection of that, because remember in the apocalypse you had these gelatin cubes, but when you look upon double feature, you saw that they had the very similar thing at that base, and Mimi was part of that. They were feeding them like these gelatin cubes, and those were the things that were keeping them alive. So I believe that could be a connection as well. So you made such brilliant thoughts and ideas, I just had to put it there. So if Mimi was a witch, how could the aliens' powers override the witches? Thus explaining what you said before in last episode, that what if the aliens do have something to do with the Roanoke, thus affecting the first Supreme, which was the Scaffage character that Lady Gaga played. So very well there. The last and only thing that you mentioned was that you said that what if Michael had followed Mallory when she went back in time? I believe that's probably the coolest thing I've ever heard. I don't think nobody never said that before. That's still a mystery to me, because I believe that Mallory could have done so much more, and the fact that even Mallory went back in time, it still didn't prevent the apocalypse in a way, because at the end of the season we saw that the Antichrist was born again, and that he is planning to redo the apocalypse, and he used the last two people inside the sanction to recreate it, so that's definitely something that I'm gonna watch out for. But I believe if he would have done that, he would have destroy or alter the time and space entirely, and to see that happen, and to see what if if he goes back in time, then Mallory would not be powerful. If he at that point, you would have Sarah Paulson's character Cordelia as the most powerful. Another thing I want to mention is that would have been something to definitely look back upon. But I believe she would have been stripped of her powers, because at that timeline it was Cordelia who was the Supreme at that time. So that makes a perfect example to definitely what you were saying before. But I truly believe that they would have figured something out to take down Michael, because him traveling back in time, that will also affect him getting born or anything else. Okay, now for part 2 of this. So my second subscriber, who gave me another idea, she mentioned that what if Violet forgave Tate, and what if Zoe didn't die? So that you guys are so connected that it's so cool that both of you guys are like making such great points. The fact that you mentioned that if we already saw that Madison did a spell to control Violet to forgive Tate, right? But you're asking that what if that didn't happen without having the drawbacks to like the spell. So I believe that if she would have forgave him, the timeline would have continued regularly the way we saw it in Apocalypse. But the only difference is that she would have forgave him out of the goodness of her heart instead of a spell, and at the same time they would have got closer, and if Zoe didn't die, she would have been she would have been Michael's sister, Michael Langdon's sister, and the closest person to him. And I'm not sure if he would have tried to find a way to protect her, but at the same time, she would have been, I think she would have been at the Miss Robo show. I think they would have protected her. She may have, based on Michael being her brother, I think she would have started creating or gaining powers, because she has the lineage of witches, or even because of all the house experience, she would have gained energy from that. And I think if she didn't die and Michael was still born, the witches would have find ways to protect her, or even the house, until a witch comes in to take Violet away, because Violet would have been the only one there, and Tate, as well as all these other ghosts, would have sacrificed their lives to protect Violet, because Violet would have been the only one that's living on there besides Billy Dean Howard, which is the psychic. So everybody would have pitched in to protect Violet. And I think due to that, they would have protect her from Michael, and thus bringing the witches. So the timeline of when the witches comes in to disrupt the chaos to help reverse the event, that thing that still would have happened. So shout out to my 2 subscribers, the Ninja Project and Susan Roadkill. You guys did such an amazing What If episode. I couldn't ask this for anymore. And the fact that you guys made a connection between you guys without knowing each other, so that's pretty cool. That goes to show that you guys are true American Horror Story fans. And I think the timeline, this is why I say, like, Apocalypse is not given the credit that it deserves. If you guys watch the season backwards, you would see that it makes perfect sense of what Ryan was trying to do. Because the season, even the opening credits showed that the candles were lighting up backwards, indicating that the season, to watch it and understand it, you had to watch it backwards. And the fact that Mallory, then that means Mallory would have not learned the Tempus Infinitum, thus would have drained. I think also that technique also drained Michael from not coming to that timeline. Thus, that's why he had to be reborn in a new vessel. So shout out to you guys yet again, the Ninja Project and Susan Roadkill. You guys are amazing, and I can't wait to do episode 3. And please, you guys could subscribe, make sure you guys share the channel. There's more of these things coming up, and I hope that I made you guys happy, as well as I'm so proud of you guys. So I can't wait to see you guys in the next video. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. I am your host, Sleepy Celestial, and I am signing out. Bye bye.